operating a sprawling sex trafficking scheme in Hennepin County. And one of them, Andrea Thompson, the far right of your screen there, used to work as an attorney in the Anoka County Attorney's Office.
This seems to be a reoccurring theme with people that have authority.
Prosecutors call this a complicated multi-year scheme designed to exploit 13 victims and then hide the money.
And there's a twist to this case. Our Lou Ragoose leads us off tonight with all those details. Lou?
Rena and Kevin, besides using the victims for sex trafficking, according to a criminal complaint, these suspects also used them as fake autism services providers and home health care workers to steal taxpayer money.
The initial details were shocking enough. 3 women, including a former assistant Anoka County attorney, all allegedly dating the same man, Frank Reeves, all charged in a multi-year sex trafficking scheme in Minneapolis.
The level of sophistication and victimization for profit is disturbing.
But on top of the trafficking allegations, there are allegations of fraud. According to a criminal complaint, Reeves, the top trafficking defendant, owned this supposed home health care company, Riva Health, along with 30-year-old Salman Elmi, and billed $2.5 million to the state for taxpayer Medicaid reimbursements. And who provided those supposed services? In some cases, the sex trafficking victims, at least in the paperwork investigators found. The complaint says one was labeled a mental health worker, another a provider for kids at Riva Autism, which was owned by Reeves and Andrea Sampson, the former attorney. Those two also owned housing stabilization and assisted living centers run out of various locations, some of them the same locations the sex trafficking allegedly took place. All told, court papers say those companies billed Medicaid $4.54 million. And Sampson isn't the only one with an interesting background. Elmi is a celebrated entrepreneur who won an award from the Department of Human Services, which administers Medicaid, ironically, as an outstanding refugee. And according to Elmi's website, Mr. Wonderful Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank invested $1 million in an app Elmi came up with. If the details in the court papers are any indication, more charges could be on the way.
This represents a culmination of a multi-year investigation into these defendants that is continuing to be active and ongoing to continue to uncover additional criminal activity potentially of the work that they've done.
Now in court today, we learned that more sex trafficking victims are now coming forward. The judge set bail at $300,000 for 2 of the women and $500,000 for Reeves. The other female defendant will be in court tomorrow. And Elmi, the only one charged so far with fraud, is held on $100,000 bail. Rena?
Well, it sounds like perhaps more fraud charges might be coming for these other suspects. But did they find out about this because of the sex trafficking and then they found out about the fraud, or was it the fraud that uncovered the sex trafficking?
Well, first, absolutely, there will be more sex trafficking charges because the complaint for Elmi almost talks about the other people more than they talk about him. His role very important according to the allegations as well. As for all this, how this came to light, the sex trafficking investigation was first. It started back in 2021. That was ongoing. Then early this year, the Medicaid fraud unit in the Attorney General's office started investigating Medicaid fraud after they were tipped off by an insurer. When they started looking into these locations, they found that they were owned by these people who were being investigated by the BCA for sex trafficking. So they kind of joined up and finished off this investigation together this year.
All right, Lou. Thank you. An important reminder, if you or someone you
We have confirmed a former assistant Anoka County attorney is facing charges related to a sex trafficking operation. And 35-year-old Andrea Sampson was working for the county when she was involved in the alleged trafficking. She was in court this afternoon facing 26 charges, including receiving profits from prostitution.
Sampson is one of several people charged in the operation prosecutors describe as sprawling. Renee Cooper has been pressing prosecutors about what happens next.
The Anoka County Attorney's Office says once they learned of the BCA's investigation, they placed Andrea Sampson on administrative leave and terminated her access to the office. We've been asking what this means for the cases Sampson helped prosecute at that time. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty referred those questions back to the Anoka County Attorney's Office. Now, that office has not responded to our questions of whether they are reviewing cases Sampson was involved in, saying in an earlier press release that she was assigned to the office's family law and civil divisions. So I turned to an expert and a law professor for what could happen in cases like this.
Should we expect the Anoka County Attorney's Office to review any or all of the cases she was involved in working on at the time?
I think we should expect some form of review. Yeah. Yes.
Exactly what that review looks like, Professor Rachel Moran says it depends on the specific types of cases she was involved in. But Moran says anytime a government official in a position of authority on the taxpayer's dime is charged with a crime over years while working for that office, a review should start right away.
But the charges she's facing are serious, and they certainly raise questions about her trustworthiness, about her truthfulness, and her reliability as a representative of the government. And so you want to look into what kind of power was she given? How did she use it? And so I think certainly taxpayers have a right to expect a careful investigation, and Anoka County should be able to say what they're doing to look into her cases.
BCA Superintendent Drew Evans this morning telling us that Anoka County took immediate action and has been cooperative from the minute they learned about the possibility of criminal charges in this case. Sampson's attorney telling me beyond bail arguments today, they don't have additional comment at this time. Sampson expected back in court next month. In Minneapolis, Renee Cooper, 5 Eyewitness News.
Hi, this is my